Saying things people already know out loud is tight.
Avada Kedavra.
You park in front of your house, I park in front of my house. Hey!
But we're here to learn, so we'll move on.
What's up, everyone? It's Adam from FWCI, and this is the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania pitch meeting. If you're new to the channel, what I do with these is I watch the pitch meetings, react to it, have a little bit of a laugh with Ryan George as we poke fun at the movie, and then afterwards, if it's a new movie like this, I give my thoughts on the film. And I have seen it, I went on opening night, and I do have some mixed thoughts about it. If you haven't already, go subscribe to the pitch meeting channel with Ryan George. It's a whole separate channel. He's only just kind of set it up, but that's where all these videos are coming from now. I'll link it down in the description as well. But let's hear what he's got to say about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, brother.
So, you have a new Ant-Man movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. Oh boy, we gotta make this
Does he, though?
good, because this is going to be the kickoff for Phase 5.
Yeah.
So it's got to live up to Phase 4, which a lot of people are saying was the most exciting phase yet. Well. So I figure we make this one take place in the quantum realm. That's where small things are. Very small things, sir, and we're going to have a ton of excitement in this one. Sick! Oh yes, sir. Tons of helmet removals. Don't you worry about that. There's going to be a lot. What? Helmet removals, sirs. Characters are going to take their helmets off dramatically a shocking number of times. Why? Because that's the coolest thing a person could do. Is it? Oh yeah, check this out, sir. Oh my God! Right? Do that again. Do that again.
Okay, you know what? It didn't stick out to me, but I'm sure upon hearing this and then rewatching it, I'll notice that there's quite a bit of helmet removal. But, you know, and the more I think about it now, yeah, there was.
Again. Do that again. Do that again. Oh, all right, this is gonna be a good movie. Anyway, so Scott's daughter Cassie is older now, and she's built this machine that can send a signal down to the quantum realm. Right. But Janet is like, well, you can't be doing that. The quantum realm is dangerous. You can't stop doing that. Wasn't she messing around with quantum stuff with them at the end of the last movie? Hey, shut up. And so suddenly this machine goes nuts, and they all get
That's a good point, and I'm sure he's going to get to this, but Janet Van Dyne is an absolute moron in this movie.
sucked down in the quantum realm. Oh my God! Like they go into it. Oh, okay. So wait, what's Janet afraid of down there? Well, see, she met this guy Kang down there, and she helped him repair this ship of his. Okay. But when they have it all fixed up, and she touches the ship, it gives her all these visions of Kang conquering and murdering people. Kind of a weird feature for a ship to have. So then she decided to mess up his ship's power core to make him stuck down there, and she's afraid he could get out. Also, why were they even messing with that stuff? I mean, she must have told them about Kang down there. Well, no, she kept that to herself. Oh, she did? Yeah, in fact, she doesn't tell them until much later in the movie when they've been down there for a while. Why? So the movie can happen. Oh, okay, gotcha. So anyway.
Yeah, I will talk more about this afterwards, but yeah, 100%, why did she keep it a secret so friggin' long? This is an Avenger, and Hank Pym, and maybe another Avenger that's upcoming. Come on, Janet, why are you being so cagey about this?
Anyway, they get separated down there, and Scott and Cassie get captured by some quantum people that live down there. Uh-oh. And so they go up to Scott like, are you a spy? And Cassie's like, no, he's not a spy, he's my dad. So they're like, oh, okay. How does that prove anything? Why couldn't they both be spies? Unclear. And so these folks are scared of Kang because he's been conquering everything. So Cassie's like, Dad, we gotta stay and help these people. So then they find their family first? Yeah, but she wants to help because that's her one character trait, and so she gives her dad some crap about that. These could be cannibals or something. They don't know anything about them. Yeah, anyway, then they get attacked, so these people...
That's a good point. They could be, like, almost as bad as Kang. Maybe Kang is saving everyone from these people. I mean, that's not the case, but... You didn't know that, Cassie. You be careful who you help.
People are like, hey, you led them right to us. Didn't they capture them and bring them there? They did, yeah. And then Scott and Cassie are gonna get attacked by MODOK. Oh, MODOK, huh? What's his deal? Well, turns out he's Darren Cross. Hey, who is that? Darren Cross. He was, the generic bad guy from the first movie. He's from the first movie. Yeah, he is. So when he got sent down to the quantum...
I don't know if it's because I was watching House of Cards at the time, but I really liked Darren Cross in the original Ant-Man movie. I thought he was a great character. He was a very snivelly, corporate villainy kind of guy. And most horrifying death in all of the MCU, turning that guy into a goo and flushing him down the toilet? I mean, come on.
Realm at the end of the first movie, he got all messed up, and we're gonna see his tiny little butt. What? And Kang turned him into this killing machine called MODOK. And what's he like? Well, his head's all stretched out weird like this. Oh my god, how did you do that? I've been doing Pilates. Oh, okay. So anyway, meanwhile, Janet, Hope, and Hank are trying to track down this guy that Janet used to know down in the quantum realm. Who's this guy? Well, his name is Krylar, and we're gonna find out they had a little romantic thing going when she
And what a underwhelming cameo that was.
used to live down there. Oh, quantum infidelity is tight. And so this guy used to be a good
There was a lot of quantum infidelity from what I understand.
guy, but now he's a
Good on her, I
bad guy.
suppose.
Oh no. Yeah, so they steal his ship and escape. Very exciting. And so then Scott is gonna meet Kang, and Kang is gonna be like, hey, help me retrieve my ship's core or I'll kill your daughter and make you relive it over and over. Oh my god. So Scott's like, geez, okay, I'll do it. He doesn't like how that sounds. He doesn't know. So then he is gonna do what Kang asked. Uh-oh. And so then Scott's gonna turn into Giant Man and stomp around.
Uh-oh. Every now and then, one of those just innocuous little noises that he makes just gets under my skin and just makes me laugh. Uh-oh.
Yelling, our word is our bond. Kind of a strange strategy, but yeah, that might help. And Cassie's also gonna help start an uprising with those quantum people from earlier in the movie. All right, I don't feel like I know those characters, and I'm not super emotionally invested. And this guy with a yellow beam thing for a head is gonna die. Oh no, guy with a yellow beam thing for a head. And Cassie's also gonna have to fight MODOK and try to convince him to join their side. Well, it's gonna be hard to convince such a bad guy to help out. Actually, it's gonna be super easy.
Barely an inconvenience. What is it?
Oh, really? Yeah, she's gonna be like, don't be a dick.
That's right.
And so, you know, that works immediately. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Wow. And then Hank shows up with some super evolved ants and they beat the crap out of Kang. Very violent insects. So then the good guys are gonna be going home through a portal, but then Kang's gonna pop out again and start beating the crap out of Scott. Oh no. Yeah, and Hope's gonna pop back in to help out and the portal's gonna close behind her. Oh yeah, Hope. I forgot she was in this. Me too, sir. So then they managed to
Even though she's in the title of the movie, yeah, she was kind of MIA throughout this whole thing.
defeat Kang and maybe he's dead, you know, maybe. Wow, so they're stuck in the quantum realm, huh? They sacrifice themselves? Ah, no, the portal can just reopen, so they go home. Oh. Okay, I thought there would be some consequences or something. I mean, it has consequences, sir. The guy with the yellow beam thing for a head died. That is a good point, yeah, you're right. And so that's about it. What do you think? Well, I mean, Kang is supposed to be the next big bad guy, right? And so far we've seen him get killed in Loki, and in this one he gets beat up by a bunch of bugs. Yeah, well, there is gonna be a post-credit scene of a bunch of him in a bunch of different costumes. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. That is threatening and not hilarious in any way. Great, I think people are really gonna like this. Me too.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, close to being Marvel's lowest rated movie. Alright, let's talk about it. First of all, quality pitch meeting. Ryan George needs to get, like, a TV show. I don't know what, like, I could see him, like, hosting something, making a bunch of jokes, like a late night variety kind of show, like Kimmel, Fallon, Conan, Leno, all those guys. Carson, for those out there that know who that is. But this movie was definitely a disappointment. What makes me feel a little bit better about it, though, is I can tell exactly why it was a disappointment. It's not some kind of, like, inexplicable disappointment where everything should have been, like, way better. It's very, very obvious why this movie didn't land with the audience. And that's because the Ant-Man movies, the previous two, were comic relief movies for Marvel. They were cast that way. That's why Paul Rudd is Ant-Man, and that was the whole vibe and theme of the movie. And it feels like this franchise has done like a reverse Thor, where it's gone from being like super dark and like serious to being like hilarious, but the other way around. This one's gone from being hilarious to being super dark and serious. The Quantum Realm is not a good location for an entire movie. I don't know, it felt very disconnected. You keep getting told that you don't know what time or space is doing. It was just kind of a big, blurry... Not that the CGI was bad, I thought the CGI was actually quite good, at least as far as I could tell. Even MODOK, I like the CGI on him. But the whole vibe of the Quantum Realm is just kind of dark and just murky, it almost feels like. So it didn't look very good in terms of like just the style of it, even though the CGI I thought was perfectly okay. The characters were not good. Janet Van Dyne, I was getting so frustrated with how long it took her to tell the story of what happened with her and Kang. There's no reason why she held on to it as long as she did. Cassie was a bit of a frustrating character as well, with her like constant we need to help mentality. Like, it just, something about it didn't quite click with me, and I'm glad that we got to see her in her suit and everything like that, but this movie was not a great debut for that character. What I can say about this in terms of the positive is Michael Douglas as Hank Pym is maybe one of the more underrated characters that's been introduced into the MCU, because Hank Pym's very important in the comics, and Michael Douglas does a great job bringing that character to life, even though his role is, you know, a lot less significant in the movies. I always enjoy seeing him as Hank Pym, and I think we're a little bit spoiled with having him in that role just as a kind of a background character. I'd like to see more Hank Pym in the future, but he was great in this movie. I really liked some of the humor. It was really interesting. There was some really, really goofy, cheesy, corny humor, and then you had stuff like the death of MODOK and his dying wish of like, at least I get to die being an Avenger, which had me laughing so hard. And the comedy in that was so subtle. They didn't bang you over the head with it. It was like, it kind of crept up on you. You didn't see it coming. It was fitting for that character, and it just didn't sort of follow through into the rest of the movie. There were just these moments of really solid comedy, like the Baskin-Robbins Scott Lang, who was there with all the Ant-Man variants at that point in the movie. Like, that was quite funny, and they did a good job injecting some humor into it, but it really had a bit of an identity crisis, and I understand what people were talking about with Thor Love and Thunder a little bit more now. I still think that movie was overall very enjoyable, but I can understand that the difference in the tone can be something that takes people out of the movie quite a bit. It doesn't always happen for me, but I definitely felt it in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The after credit scene, I mean, one of them's a lead into Loki season 2, and the other one showed us the variants of Kang, and I'm all here for Kang. I thought Jonathan Majors did a great job as Kang, and it did seem like he got jobbed out a little bit, if we're being honest about this, but we're obviously going to get plenty more Kang and Rama Tut and all the rest of them as the MCU continues on. Bill Murray's cameo was so underwhelming. He wasn't funny or interesting. It wasn't even really a twist, like with what happens with him in that very brief scene that he was in. So I don't know, I don't think we really needed that to be Bill Murray. I don't think we even needed that character to be in the movie at all. And it's not often that I say that about, you know, significant cameos and things like that. I can usually see the value of having these characters come in for a brief moment, even if it, you know, kind of deters from the story a little bit. This one just didn't help anything at all. I haven't mentioned the Wasp because there's nothing to mention about the Wasp. That character was just incredibly bland and forgettable in this movie, even though her name is in the title of the film itself. So not the greatest movie, and I feel like what's going on right now is Marvel is just introducing new things and not really paying them off. So I don't know if this is just a matter where we have to be patient because they're frantically setting all this framework for, you know, what's to come in, like, you know, 2024, I guess, or maybe later this year, where are things going to really sort of start to like step up a little bit? Or is it a case where, you know, this is just how they're going to do these movies now? But I feel like they've introduced so much that they still haven't paid off. I mean, we're now just getting Adam Warlock in the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and he was introduced at the beginning of Guardians Volume 2, which is, I mean, how many years ago did that come out? Was that like 2017 or something like that? It's like 6 years ago. They usually do a pretty good job of tying everything in and keeping it fairly airtight in terms of continuity and stuff like that. So I'm keen to see what happens with that. I won't be doing reactions to Loki Season 2 because my missus absolutely loves Loki. It's her favorite character. It was her favorite show, and that's one that I'm going to enjoy with her, relaxing and sharing that experience with my partner. Anything else that comes on Disney Plus, though, I'll probably give it a look. Go check out my Mandalorian reactions if you haven't already, because they've been a hell of a lot of fun. I just finished doing the Book of Boba Fett as well in time for Mando Season 3. I put in a ton of work for that, so go check it out because I enjoyed every single episode of that, and I'm very, very keen for Mandalorian Season 3. Go subscribe to Ryan George and the Pitch Meeting channel, and as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, see you in the next video. Peace!